Hi, it's Dr. Brian McDonough. Depending on when you are looking at this video, you are about to see approval of the COVID vaccines by the FDA, or you are in the process of reviewing the fact they have been approved by the FDA. It'll probably happen with Pfizer, followed by Moderna. And that's a natural progression of the studies and looking at information. They're looking right now at the mRNA vaccines. They're the newest creation, the one that's been worked on for decades actually in the history of mRNA, but really came out for the first time with emergency use authorization. It's the vaccine I got. I got the Pfizer vaccine because I got it on December 22nd with my booster in later January, the period of time between the first and second shot that you were allowed. So the bottom line here is those of us who were early on, most of us in healthcare or at very high risk who frankly, we're so thankful that we had some protection as we saw our colleagues getting sick and dying. We knew that we needed this. We've watched through emergency use and what we've read that these are safe vaccines. So if you're vaccine hesitant and you've been waiting for FDA approval, it's either here or it's coming. And that means a lot of workplaces and other places can do what we've done with vaccines since we developed them all the way back to smallpox and polio and measles and mumps, rubella, chickenpox, you name it. We actually are in a similar situation. And this should hopefully get a lot of people who are hesitant on board to get the vaccines because there is now a safety profile that you can look back on. And that's what I want you to do. My only other message for you is now that you're going to have FDA approval, and you realize it's gone through the process that essentially vaccines have gone through since we started using them, you need to now look at the facts. I beg you to stop listening to the politicians. I beg you to stop listening to the CNNs, the MSNBCs, the Fox News, all of those channels. Watch them, but remember, it's entertainment. It is not news. It's entertainment and opinions given by people who know that if they get better ratings, they make more money. And if the entertainers who are providing the information get better ratings, the station makes more money. So follow the money, okay? If you really want to be cynical, follow the money. A lot of politicians know they have to ride the horse they came in with. They can't back off now because they can't risk losing the precious election that they're heading to. A lot of the TV stations, especially the cable stations that are fighting for prominence among 1,000 cable stations, are going to do whatever they can do to get attention. What you need to do is look at the data. No one has died who has had the COVID vaccine in an ICU in hospitals throughout the country. And yet we're seeing thousands of deaths in people who have not been vaccinated. If you look at the people who've died in this country, and this morning, it is up to 627,862 people who have died. They have died not being vaccinated. So just play the numbers. Don't believe me. Look at it and say, what's the percentage? Where do you want to be? Also, be cynical. There are no cases of infertility associated with the vaccine. I mean, I could come out today and say, if you get the vaccine in 27 years, you're going to have problems with your right foot and you won't be able to push the gas pedal. Who's going to question me? It's 27 years from now. You can make up anything, and the internet flourishes on things like that. So don't read that stuff. Just read the numbers. Then make your decision. And finally, understand this. Until we can get children 12 and under vaccinated, they are vulnerable. We're seeing increased children who are not vaccinated being hospitalized. The way we cut that down is by getting vaccinated to reduce spread and wearing masks for the sake of others. Not for your sake, for the sake of others. Let's get together as a society. Let's get together as fellow people caring for each other and do what we can and use this opportunity to crush COVID so we're not spending the next 10 years, 20 years dealing with it, the ramifications, and the sadness of losing loved ones.